coming to you live from my perspective. For you, it's gonna be pre-recorded, but
It's in a couple hours. It'll be fine.
yeah,
I'm gonna be putting this up tonight.
I'm Yappity.
I'm Eplicas. If you don't know that by now, then there's a serious problem. You might want to get that checked out.
Yeah, but guess
Just-
what, guys? The psychic is in. The brony is in.
I thought I told you to stop saying that. There's no point to it.
Yeah, there's a point. But guys, we're back with SurvivorCraft Know-It-Alls, episode 5, recapping episode 7, 8, and 9 right now. And we're just gonna go straight to the action. Well, the points that we want to talk about.
Kind of. Wait,
Action.
we are?
Yeah. Well,
What?
What?
We still gotta talk about 7 and 8. Stuff happened in 7 and 8.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll talk
I'm
about
not gonna
it.
skip to 9 yet.
There's strategy. Okay, so episode 7, straight up survival. Well, not really survival. What they did during the survival period was make monuments for their fallen survivors, which is pretty canon. In other words, they do that during Survivor,
Yeah.
right before the final four challenge, the final immunity challenge. They always do this memory walk, I would say,
Yeah.
where they would go by torches with all the past contestants during that season that were voted out already, which they try to recreate with this thing by monument making,
Yeah.
but they tried. Gold star.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I like, especially Draydon's monument. Draydon best monument.
What?
Just great. The drop.
The drop.
You fell for us, so I will fall for you. You just had the giant tower and you just jumped out
Very
of it.
poetic.
I
would say.
liked it. I liked it.
It was fun. Yeah, I liked it, but you know what? Ultimately, I even wrote down gold star. They tried. It was fun. It was all in good fun. So you know what?
Yeah.
Plus, we weren't expecting a Picasso kind of monument. Wait, that's not even right. No,
Is that? It's possible.
he made a sculpture. No, I don't know.
What?
What?
I haven't. I don't build.
I don't.
You should know this.
I don't study art. I don't know.
Me neither.
Picasso makes paintings. I know that.
Oh,
Art-
they're the Picasso is the ones that are really jumbled up. It's like a modern art thing that no one quite understands except for the art majors.
It's art. No one does. Speaks to your heart or doesn't.
So that's why I like math. Anyways, so Keo got voted off. Episode 7.
Well, we have to talk about the challenge real quick.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Well, I want to talk about the challenge real quick because mainly, the maze? I
Yeah,
had the same idea. You thought, you know it. Okay.
I do.
This thing is... Okay, so what you guys don't know is... Okay, no, sorry, I'm really hyped up about this. Okay,
Okay, go on.
I created a maze type challenge because when I watched season 22 of Survivor, Redemption Island, they did this giant maze challenge.
You know the number.
Season
You were
22,
fake.
Redemption Island. Rob Mariano, Boston Rob won the season, But, okay, they did this giant maze, and I recreated this, kind of maze challenge in in Minecraft, and, I had it so all my friends could try. Eplicas ran the maze, and it was kind of the same idea.
so pro.
won.
Pro.
Then again,
No.
I made it, so,
You had it memorized. It wasn't fair. I beat everybody else.
yeah, well. So, yeah, that happened, so, I love the challenge. It was balanced. It wasn't, it wasn't, given towards one way, other than Keo, who was lagging throughout the whole thing, as he said.
Yeah, that's really too bad. But honestly, unless Keo was the one who got immunity, he was definitely going to be voted off. That would have been interesting, though, if Keo got the immunity.
I know, that's
I
what I was
was-
hoping for.
Yeah, I was really for that. But I really like the maze.
Mhm.
Fence mazes are almost the worst. Hate fence mazes. They are the second worst next to ice mazes.
How about glass mazes?
No, ice is worse.
Really?
Ice is definitely worse. Because when you look through glass,
Uh-huh.
you can't see the glass that's connected. But if I look through a wall of glass, I can see another wall of glass on the other side.
Mhm.
If you look through a wall of ice, you could not see any ice beyond that ever. So what's really annoying is when you have an ice maze, but it has a stone pathway.
Yeah.
Or in some places, so you can see where a stone pathway is, but then as soon as you get to that section, you're like, oh, this is the way through. Wall of ice. Right there, in your way. I don't like ice mazes. I don't like mazes in general.
But I think it was a great challenge. Good thing that they mixed it up this time. And now, well, Thrashkin wins, barely beating Blood Fox. So,
Mhm. Yep, but it wouldn't have mattered either way who won that. Keo would have gotten voted off.
And he did at Tribal. And you also
But-
noticed how segregated they were?
No.
Well, no, what I noticed was like the whole blue team was like on one side, and Keo was like way far on the right side. I'm like, they had their distance. I'd say that.
Whatever. But I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, I want to say congratulations to Keo making it into Final Four, especially against an alliance of three. You went in with a minority. You still pulled out, made a top four, and you did good. You have nothing to be ashamed of getting voted off. You did really good throughout the time. And
Last
even
man
though you
standing
did,
on your tribe.
yeah, and even though you didn't have much of a presence throughout the entire thing, you still did a good job, and it was fun watching you.
You got the Eplicas seal of approval.
The Eplicas seal of approval looks like a diamond crown, and I haven't given that out to anyone yet.
Really?
Mainly because I haven't created it yet, but eventually I will.
Okay, and then another thing to bring up: Draydon uses the hidden immunity idol. No need for that. He was safe either way. Being
Yeah,
honest here.
just in case.
Yeah, just in case, who knows.
Yep.
And then episode 8, survival, the survival period.
Just
Screw around.
just having fun.
Yeah,
I mean, that's no big deal. It doesn't matter what they were going to do during survival. It wouldn't have helped them at all, anyways. Might as well just screw around.
yeah. So it was all in good fun. I didn't really watch it or pay attention to it.
Me neither, but some parts were funny, but nothing really stuck out to me. But really, it's not for us. That section's for them. They made it to the top 3. They deserve to goof around a bit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And then now we can just move on to the challenge, which was a big gauntlet compared
Yeah,
to that
very
mini gauntlet.
nice. Yep, I really liked it. And if you,
Mhm.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but there was a section. It was right after the bow where they were transferring to the minecarts. There were the up and down path.
Yeah.
Was it when no, it was before the mine. It was
No, the minecart was the end.
Yeah, so it was before that. It was when they were going into the maze section with the doors.
Uh-huh.
But the pathways, if you looked at them, it wasn't just one goes straight in, the other goes straight in. The reason they were going up and down is to make all the paths as even as possible.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And I really, really like that. A lot of people don't take that kind of stuff into consideration when making gauntlets and stuff. And it was really cool to see that being worked in.
Yeah. And, well, I just want to talk about, like, how Blood Fox ultimately lost the challenge. Like, he could have won, but he made 2 major mistakes, I think. The first one was when he was sprint jumping, which, if you guys don't know, sprint jumping, if you sprint and jump at the same time, you do go faster than if you normally sprint.
A little faster because it removes the friction.
Yeah. And it's a helpful way to, if you're in a race. But Blood Fox makes the mistake of jumping into a cobweb at one point, and, just the time that he spent just trying to recover from that, just falling into the cobweb.
Well, you can
Really?
still fall. You can still fall forward. It's better to jump into the cobweb because sometimes you can get over it just a little bit before you fall in, and that's 2 or 3 pixels that you didn't have to spend walking through. So you don't have to, with a cobweb, you don't have to fall straight down and then go forward. You can just go diagonally forward, and it's actually a little bit faster.
Well, I still think that was the one thing that did him in. Like, ultimately, that got Thrashkin to pass him at that point. At that point, Thrashkin did pass him. So did Drayden.
That didn't.
Huh?
Thraskin was the first one through that maze, wasn't it? Wasn't he?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure, no, Blood Fox was in the lead for a while at the first part, and then Thrashkin
Yeah, but
passed him.
the thing was with that maze, though, is that what happened was Blood Fox went down one path,
Oh, yeah.
and he thought it was a dead end, but it really wasn't. Then he went down a different path that actually was a dead end, and then he ran back. So it wasn't the cobweb exactly that slowed him down.
Well, it's still... And then the other thing that did screw him up when he could have won was when he decided to run instead of use the minecart.
Yeah.
That ultimately did him in. Like,
Minecart is... if a minecart gets to top momentum speed, because that's how minecarts measure their speed and their strength, it's all based on an equation for momentum. And if your minecart's at max momentum, it's just a little bit faster than sprinting, especially if it's helping you go up and down hills and stuff, going much, much faster.
And what really didn't help him at that point was that he decided to go back for a minecart and then take the
definitely
thing. And then, out of nowhere, Thrashkin just freezes at the end. I didn't know what was up.
What happened was he said at the end was he placed the wool block because for some reason he picked it up earlier, and while right clicking his minecart trying to get out, he actually placed the wool block. And although I didn't actually see that happen, it ended up being a client side glitch, and that made it so he couldn't right click the minecart to get out. And also remember that this was weeks ago, so this was before 1.6. You couldn't click left shift in order to get out of the minecart.
Oh.
So that's why he ended up trying to punch the minecart, but then the wool block kept getting in the way, stopping his trying to break the minecart. So that's what stalled him for so long.
So ultimately, he just got unlucky at that point, and that what did him in.
Yep, just
Just
that little
luck,
bit.
and luck is it is a factor in these type
Mhm.
of games, and
Definitely.
especially in Survivor or like some other games like Big Brother or Amazing Race. Luck can do you in.
But he really shouldn't have picked up the wool block to begin with. There is not really any reason to. If that part slowed him down too, he should have just ran and jumped into the waterfall.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Oh well, and then out of nowhere, honestly, I did not see this coming. Drayden wins that immunity challenge,
Yeah, he
and
just popped out of nowhere. That
yeah,
was great.
and good for him,
Mhm.
securing that final two position or spot in the finals. So
Yep, at least.
yeah, and now we can move on to tribal. Is there anything you want to talk about for the challenge?
Uh, well, we just talked about the challenge, but to tribal, I really didn't know who he was going to vote off
Me neither.
because all three of them seem to be a pretty big group. But Thraskin had to go, and that was that. I'm really surprised Draydon made it this far. Kudos to you. You came up from being someone with absolutely no presence. You can, as those who have watched our first episode,
Wait, hold
no
on.
presence of all. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me finish.
I have something to say.
You will not interrupt me.
I will not.
Someone
Sorry.
with no presence at all. Someone who we didn't know. Even our first one, we just said, Draydon, you're Crash Bandicoot, and we kind of just moved on because we didn't know who you are. But definitely after the merge, you really went in there. You built yourself a presence and a persona that people were able to not really relate to, but were able to know. They know who you are. I got you connected to a voice, and you really pulled through from someone who was just unknown from the beginning to going to the number 2 spot. Kudos to you. I am very impressed.
So I would clap for you, but you did great at the end, and clap golf claps everyone. And but I was about to say it was like I actually mixed up Drayden's and Blood Fox's voice, so that's why I thought Drayden didn't have a presence. Apparently, the whole time I thought Blood Fox had a presence. It was really Drayden, and I don't think Blood Fox really had a presence other than leadership style. And
Are you sure?
I don't know, maybe
No, you were correct, and you got mixed up in this last episode. Is what happened because they were talking back and forth a lot.
yeah. But,
That's what happened because I am fairly certain it was Blood Fox we had connected to a voice fairly quickly. It was Blood Fox and Vix that I really knew from the very beginning.
yeah. So
And yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now you got me doubting myself.
I don't know. Okay, we'll just move on. But okay, something I really want to talk about if you were Drayden, who would you vote out?
Uh, uh, I would have voted out Blood Fox
Me too.
because he had a much bigger presence.
Mhm.
It's much more. If there was a contest between Blood Fox, if you think about it this way, and if Draydon wasn't in there at all, and it was between Blood Fox and Thraskin, I would say Blood Fox would win. He would win the popularity vote from the fans. So it would be best to pin yourself up against the person who wasn't. But then again, they were also really close. And having talked to them a little bit, later stuff, but having talked to them a little bit, they still keep in touch. They still talk and play games with each other. So they definitely had, I guess, being on SurvivorCraft, even if it's not a real Survivor Island, they kind of got a good friendship thing going on too.
Yeah. And ultimately, if I was Drayden, I would have gone off the fact that earlier in the season they talked about like who was the best player, and all of them admitted it was Blood Fox. So it was really Drayden's perfect chance to get rid of Blood Fox, who was the best player and who would be easily argued as the most deserving player.
But also remember, I mean, hindsight 2020. But also remember that in the very beginning, Draydon, Blood Fox, and Thraskin all had an alliance too.
Yeah.
So that's why they were voting off LC or Lulu. I don't know why people are calling her Lulu. That's why. That's why they're. That's what.
Or, I don't know.
Possibly, I don't know. But that's why they voted off LC and White Chocolate because they had a 3-man alliance.
Yeah.
They didn't really become threatened by each other until way after the merge.
Yeah. And
so episode 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we can move on.
First, before we talk about our favorites, I want to mention that I'm happy to see that there was strategy involved because they did talk about, hey, this is what we were playing from the beginning, this is what we were doing, and this is why we did a couple things. But that's great, and that's what we've been looking for this entire season. But it would have been great to see that develop throughout the season
Oh
instead of
yeah.
just finding about it at the very end, especially since we're just finding out about it just from these two and just their perspectives. It would have been really cool to see us from the beginning and go, oh, I hope their alliance wins. I hope their alliance wins. How is this going to affect their alliance, kind of a thing, instead of just, oh, cool, they had an alliance. Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of like reading a book from the end and then going to the beginning. It's cool to find out about all this stuff later, but it would have been cool to see it develop through going out. And that would have given the entire show so much more depth. Because this whole time, I don't know if there was strategy or not. I don't know if people were just going with their gut or if they were planning stuff out. But now we find out they were planning stuff out. They were even talking to each other on the side when they were playing the game,
Yeah.
figuring out how they were going to do everything. And this would have been great for like confessionals and stuff. And I
And they
really
even
hope,
practice too
yeah,
together.
I really hope we see this in season 4. Because confessionals season 1 were lacking, but still not bad. It added context to the game, and I really hope in season 4 that we see those return and even with more vigor.
Yeah, and as long as we're talking about that, I do want to like one of the things that's a big question mark about this whole season is I want to know the whole voting dynamic for the green team when Vix was voted out and when Country Boy was voted out.
Yeah, see what they were thinking the whole time and
Yeah.
everything, getting into the minds of the contestants. That's really how you find people, especially like the fan favorite. That's how people get in people's heads for fan favorite or who they want to vote, who they're rooting for. That's how you get that whole thing. And it was kind of disappointing not to see it being implemented in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I really hope that, especially with the videos that we're making and how much we've stressed this. And if other people, if you're watching this and you see us talking about this, especially now, go on the SurvivorCraft videos, ask where the confessionals are, let Media and Guns know that it's not just us two who want this.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you all, especially fans of Survivor, were hoping to see this as well. And we really got to make sure that this shows up in season 4, because that would bring the game into a whole new light for the fans.
Like we want to shine a light on the social game aspect and the strategic game aspect. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole alliance thing. Even though they said, "Wow, this is amazing. This is the first time," which is great for Bloodfox, Thrashkin, and Drayden, but that's kind of basic strategy gameplay for Survivor. Like this game it could be much more complex, and like I think the green team that like right there, the way that the boot order was, it seems on the outside looking in, it seems really complex, and I want to know, but I guess we would have to ask usernames or just them later, but for the fans missing out on that, it kind of sucks. Yeah, like people
It's
were
missing
watching
a
the
little.
show.
It was still a good season, and it was definitely fun to watch. And Yappity and I were really super critical of the show, but that's because we love it.
Lag.
It's a lot of fun
No
to
lag.
be watching it. No, come on, you can do this. You can do it. Come on, come on.
Pull through.
Your,
Pull through.
your internet sucks. I was giving an inspirational speech too, but anyways, yeah, we wouldn't be watching the show if we didn't like it so much. We wouldn't be super critical if we didn't love it so much.
Uh-huh.
So definitely, Media Guns, if you're watching this, don't take all our criticisms the wrong way. We're just trying to help you make it such a better series because this show has so much more potential than what it has, and it's great so far. But there's so much more that can be done as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, we've been going on about this one subject for like 5 or 6 minutes. That is far too long. So, okay, so I'm gonna let you start out. Who do you want them to vote for?
Bloodfox! Bloodfox! You were my number one pick from the start, and Bloodfox, you made it to the end. And you know what? In my opinion, you deserve it, and I'll tell you why. I'll let you state your opinion because we already know that we have opposing opinions. But I'm gonna just talk about Bloodfox. You can
Well, now
talk
they
about
do
Jada.
too.
All right. So first off, Bloodfox, the leader, the total mastermind, the one who is always in control of his alliance and his tribe, always had the power. Number one. And you know what? The thing that he does, that he even says, is that he goes up to Thrashkin, says, "Hey, I think we're the best on our team, or in this game." And they're paired up, so they make a final 2 deal, which is great. And then he realizes when they lose the immunity challenge, the first one, he realized that okay, I don't want a PvP situation where I don't want, like, I have the chance to control my fate in this game. So he goes up to Drayden and asks him, "Hey, we're gonna pull you into an alliance of 3, and we're gonna get total control of our tribe and this game." And he does that, and they vote out LC, and they'll eventually vote out white chocolate. And you know what? And that is like the best thing. That's great. That is basic Survivor strategy. And not to say, not to say that it's just basic, but you know what he does. That's just great strategic play from the start, and it worked out in the end. You guys made it to the final three, and you built this relationship with Drayden by going up to him. Like, he put enough trust into you to bring you to the final two over Thrashkin. And it's either what, you were better friends with him, you guys just had a better connection or something. I don't know, but
Now he's rooting for Drayden.
no, I'm not rooting for Drayden. No, no. Blood Fox, you did great. You were able to cover your bases too, so no matter what, I think even if Thrashkin won immunity, he might have brought you into the final two. So I think you just did a great job overall, and in my opinion, you deserve this win. I root for Blood Fox all the way, and now I'm gonna move it over to Eplicas to tell me why Drayden deserves to win.
Well, so I kind of already stated this earlier because I wanted to really get into your minds, but Drayden has come up from the very bottom. His just no presence at all, not really doing a lot of anything, not even big presence in the challenge, and he's really taken a hold of the game, has raised himself up through all the ranks, even going through and winning the final immunity challenge from under, just sweeping the rug out from under both Thraskin and Blood Fox in the very end. And it's just amazing to watch him coming through the whole thing. And it would be even better with confessionals, but seeing all the little talks every now and then, especially I think it was episode 5 when they were finding all the books and stuff and their cooperation and everything. And Draydon was really in there and helping them, even if you didn't see it a lot. He was helping from the background all the time, and he put a lot of effort and strategy in this game. And it's just been, even though my favorite got voted out, even pretty early and everything. Shut up. Draydon was a really, not really quick second pick, but you weren't in my mind the whole time. But looking back, I can see you were always there in the background doing something of use. And even though you didn't have the biggest presence, you did have a presence. It was just very small and very focused. That's the big thing, is you were very focused. You did a lot, but you did a lot in the background. You were helping your team and not too much concerned with gain on camera or something. And that's what I really like about you. So everyone, vote for Draydon. Definitely vote for Draydon. Go to the video right now. I'll put a link in the description to the voting section. Vote for Draydon. Vote for Draydon.
Vote for Blood Fox.
You can vote for Blood Fox to be second place, because then he'll get vote for Blood Fox to get second place. No, nothing against you, Blood Fox, but Blood Fox seems like he could really use a nice tablet. But yeah, I think Blood Fox deserves a nice, solid tablet that'll be with him throughout the years.
Well,
so he actually should get. I think he actually does. He deserves that tablet. He should. I think it would be kind to him and kind of cruel to vote for him for. It would be kind of cruel to vote for him first place, because he's really earned that tablet and he really has worked hard for second place.
No, but I think Drayden deserves 2 tablets. So you guys can vote for him to get second place and fan favorite. But while you guys can give my homeboy Blood Fox a new laptop. Because you know what? He sounds mature. He sounds old. He sounds like he's going to be in college soon. Or probably already in college.
You know what? Considering that, he probably already has a good laptop.
Oh, okay.
Second one. Giving him a second one might be a little much. So think about the little guy here. Draydon really could use a new laptop, I bet.
The economy sucks. Get Blood Fox a laptop.
That card. That card works for both of our guys.
I know.
So it's valid.
All right,
Anyways,
then.
So one last thing.
Go ahead.
Fan favorite. Who's your fan favorite?
I don't know. At this point, I really don't care.
Okay, then vote for Vix. Everybody vote for Vix.
Yeah, I actually, when
Vix
I did vote,
fan favorite.
I put Vix. I put Vix as fan favorite. I mean,
Vix
I really just don't care.
something. He was definitely the best person out of everyone. No offense to you all, but Vix was definitely the best. And that's the only
reason
reason
has a crush on Vix right now. But
I do not. He's just actually. I didn't even know he had a YouTube channel. And was actually uploading videos and stuff before
I saw him.
He
Subscribers.
I know, and that's really impressive. But I didn't know that, so I'm not fanboying or anything. But Vix, you are definitely the best contestant in this season of SurvivorCraft. Everybody vote for Vix for fan favorite.
Sure.
Please. He needs something.
I'll ship that too. I'll give it. I'll go.
You ship it?
Yeah, ship it. Never heard of that term before?
I have heard of that term, but I don't think it means what you think it means.
I know it's like relationships.
Oh, okay, so it does mean what you think it means, but you suck.
What?
Well, there's only one way you could be using shipping in this term right now.
What? It doesn't matter. Look, whatever. All right.
Whatever.
I'm okay with you guys voting for Vix as fan favorite. I really don't care.
Okay, so Vix fan favorite. Everyone get that straight. Link in the description. Vote, like, and go vote for Vix and Draydon because they're awesome.
And guys, this is...
we're all out of time now, so
I was about to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.